Hi everyone, I'm Rory. This is Culloden Painting Studio. Why don't you go grab a cup of tea and watch as I review Goblin Hobbies stamps for miniatures. Okay, here's the haul that I bought from Goblin Hobbies. A Stampin starter kit, 3 additional colours and 2 additional plates. These are Heraldry 02 and Runic 01. And I've got blue, red and yellow colours to complement the white and black that comes inside the starter kit. Right, let's have a look inside the starter kit. It's very nicely presented. There are 2 plates in here already. There's Heraldry 01 and there's also Squad Markings 01. There's a black and a white Stampin colour, along with the card for removing excess and the stamper itself. Now, I have taken advice from the Goblin Hobbies YouTube channel, which is to what they call prime the silicon surface. So I've had that sitting upright on a piece of paper to soak out some of the excess oils. So I'm looking forward to giving this a try. I'll get some shields over and have a go. So first thing to do is to take the plastic cover off the steel plate. So the stainless steel plate has had the blue cover removed, and there's lots of options for putting on your shields. Some really nice heraldry here. We've got some lions rampant, dragon rampant, we've also got eagles, and plenty of things that work for crusaders, such as these crosses, and that's where I'm going to start today with some Knights Hospitaller. I'm going to use this shape here, and I've got some shields from the Wargames Atlantic Foot Knights kit. I'm going to use the white Stampin colour. This stuff is kind of equivalent to nail polish that's used for nail art, and because of that you need to have some nail polish remover, some acetone to clean the tray afterwards. Again, Goblin Hobbies have a great video on their YouTube channel on how to do this all, so follow those instructions. They'll be doing it a bit better than I will. So this is literally my first time doing this. So let's see if it's idiot proof. I need to put a big old blob on there. Need to slide away the excess. So I've put some paper down because I don't want to get this on my desk. A rolling motion. Got that nicely on there. And let's see if we can get this onto the shield. Moment of truth. Look at that. Now, it's not centered, but that's on me. But that was incredibly straightforward. So with practice, I think this will get better and better. I'm going to use some of the acetone, the nail polish remover, to clean the tray now. A bit of cotton wool. And I'll be ready to go again. Okay, take 2. I'm going to aim for something that looks a bit straighter, more in the center of the next shield that I do. There we go. Now, considering that's the second time I've done this, that's pretty much bang on in the middle. So I managed to bang out 5 shields in a couple of minutes, which was really impressive. What if I want to put one of these crosses actually on the body of a knight, where he's got a bit of a ruffled surface, his arms might be in the way. Let's give this a go. The stamper has a smaller end, so I'm going to use that because it seems like it will fit better. And there is a smaller version of the Templar cross there as well. So, sorry, Hospitaller cross. Wow. And despite the folds increases in the tunic, that goes on really easily. It's not completely on center, but that's down to me. I think one of the downsides perhaps is that once these are on, they're not coming off. You could rub it with acetone, but that's going to strip the paint and it'll also melt the plastic, so that won't do. But hey, for a first go, I'm pretty happy with that. So Templar crosses are doable. Well, what if I want to have some different livery? So heraldry for William de Warenne during the Barons' War appears to be blue and yellow checkers. So I have his shield primed with some Valrak yellow from the Colour Forge. I've got some blue nail polish here. And let's apply it onto this nice big pattern. Now, I dare say I'll need to take a scalpel round to remove the excess, but I will never have to paint checkers on a shield ever again. That's fantastic. Sir William Marshall is a very popular character from the Barons' War. Here he is with his half yellow and green heraldry. Unfortunately, though, you can't do his Lion Rampant with this stamping plate, despite the fact I've got the red colour here. The Lion Rampant's facing the wrong direction. I've looked this up actually today, and it would seem in general Lion Rampant should always be facing the left and not the right. So as nice as it is to have these, they're not necessarily going to work for historical heraldry. Another thing this stamping kit might struggle with is shields with a boss. So I've got the runic plates here. Try and get a sort of Viking design like this one up here. See if I can place it on a shield with a boss. Well, the design just really isn't big enough to cover anything other than the boss with a little bit of overspill. So that's a potential issue. I think that, well, I don't know much about the design of these plates, but it's not impossible that they could be designed with a central void so that you could fit them around bosses. Bosses come in different sizes, of course, so wouldn't be an exact science. I've attached the shields to the knights. It's a shame that I chose the poster William de Warenne to be holding his shield behind him, but never mind. I really liked using these stamps. They were surprisingly easy to get used to, and I think the speed that you can get up to with practice doing the same shape again and again. I was churning out those shields in just a couple of minutes. And I compare that to how long it takes to apply transfers. It's so much less time, so much less faff with no need to cut anything out. I also feel that it was a lot quicker than it would have been to do the shapes by hand, and you're getting accuracy every time you're doing it. It's the same shape, so everything will look unified. I think with some weathering over the top, some sponging of some browns, you'd get those crosses to blend in perfectly with the shield and look like they've taken some battle damage. Now, cost. This is an expensive piece of kit. So I ordered the Stampin starter kit, 2 extra plates and 3 extra colours from Goblin Hobbies website, and it came to £115 once postage and taxes had been added on top. It's an American company. They're using Zatu Games to do the distribution, but I think I was still stung for like tariffs and stuff like that. The starter kit comes with Heraldry 01 and Squad Markings 01. Squad Markings is very much designed for people that are playing Warhammer 40,000. It has all the shapes and insignia that you'd be putting on your Space Marines. I think the starter kit offers better value because an individual plate is £13 as opposed to the starter kit at 38. In terms of cost, I think it's worthwhile comparing it to the price of shield transfers. War Games Atlantic sell 36 of their Barons War waterslide transfers for £10. You're getting 3 repeats of each design in a set. So if you were doing delivery of one particular Lord's unit, you might need to buy multiple sets of transfers to achieve a unified look. Little Big Men for Victrix, for example, it's 12 sheets for 12 shields for £5. Again, no repeats on the individual sheets. So for something like Knights Hospitaller, where you're doing the same insignia over and over again, especially if you were planning to be painting up a few dozen of those knights, then there is some value coming into the Stampin kit. I think that for someone like me who paints other people's models for a living, then having this on hand can mean that I can churn out models quite quickly and at lesser cost to clients in the long run. But that initial big wad of cash to get on the ladder is going to be difficult for a lot of hobbyists to afford. It's disappointing, perhaps, the lack of historical research that's gone into like the direction that the Lion Rampant should be facing. Again, I think that these kits are more aimed at people who play fantasy and sci-fi games, where perhaps that detail doesn't matter. And getting some sort of system that allows you to place these on shields with bosses would be fantastic. I think that's maybe a little bit of feedback I will send on to the guys at Goblin Hobbies just to see if there's any interest in doing so. So all in all, I really enjoy using these, and I think that if you're going to be painting hundreds of figures, you might get some repeat value out of them. Otherwise, it's a big initial outlay, and I can see why that would put somebody off. There's always the opportunity to use shield transfers or paint your own if you don't want to use this Stampin kit. So big thanks to all my channel members, including Matt Rowe, who's the advanced guard level, and my Patreon supporters for giving me a bit of money. It's the money that comes in from these videos that lets me make these purchases so I can review them for you all to have a look at before you decide to spend your own money. So if you want to support the channel, follow the links in the description below. I'll be back again soon with a new video. Bye for now.